Well, I think I got this thing working. Give it a minute. Let's see who pops in here. Probably would do better if I would let people know I'm doing a live instead of just randomly doing it. Alright, looks like I got somebody in there. Is this thing working? Hey, Benjamin. Yeah, so it looks like the live's working then, huh? Sweet. I'm getting better at this live stuff. I ain't very good at it, but I think today I'm going to put this 4910 together. I got the port work done on it. It looks like I've got five people in so far. Oh, guess I'll jump into it. I guess I'll show you the port work on this. This is just a good all-around work build. There's the upper transfers, the lowers, intake with a mellow lung. There's the exhaust. Not nothing too fancy. The numbers should be 102, 122, and should be 77 or 78 on the intake. I guess I can, while the wheel's still hooked up, I can set it on there and see what we get. For this side. 100, yeah, we're at 102, 102 and a half, somewhere in there. Primary is opening at 122, and then about a half a degree later the secondary is opening. Oh, intake. And about 77. So that's about what I was shooting for. So I can take the wheel off. Out of the way. So hopefully everybody's doing good. I haven't made a video in quite a while. Dropped some shorts out of older footage, but it was down. Today I'm feeling quite a bit better than I was the last 2 days. So funny how that works with kidney stones. This should be the bottom ring. I'm going to clean this. This was the top one. Now we're up to 19 people. Now it says Larry said hi. Hey, Larry. Alrighty. This has already been cleaned. I've triple washed it. When I widen these intakes, I try to get it to to where it matches the boot. Nice. I don't like any step in there. There's that. I'm gonna find my spray bottle. Definitely wasn't prepared for this, but I got to put it together, and I thought maybe you guys would want to tag along. This is just 2-stroke oil. I do not put things together dry. No. And how I widen these out, it does sometimes wreak a little bit of havoc on getting the typically on. See if I can get this. Break it. What I do is I typically slide the cylinder just past that ring just a little bit so it doesn't catch, and I straighten the cylinder out. I don't go by torque specs on these. I should go by German specs, good and tight. My shoulder is killing me. I don't do a bunch of shooting. Probably burned up $150 worth of ammo, and now my shoulder's paying for it. This torque or this T-wrench is pretty flexible. I can kind of feel about where I want them. Top. I like to do that before you get the cover on. Makes it much nicer. Alrighty. This one through for you right now. You guys okay watching this? Hopefully I ain't boring people. I have no way to see my comments when I'm on this side. I love these saws. I don't know what it is about them. I take quite a bit of grief for it too, but I don't know. People like what they like. But, I think it was Echo's dumbest decision ever to stop production on this saw. I should be thankful at least we can still get the 501s, but they're quite a bit more money. And we get the same power output out of them or these. I haven't really noticed much of a difference. This is a muffler off my other saw because I needed the other muffler. This one's already got the work saw muffler mod, so I'm just going to roll with it, plus the gasket stuck to it. I like to start all the muffler bolts, cinching any of them down. Especially after machine work, some saws can kind of be some saws I actually got to re-drill the lower holes because I've dropped stuff down so much where you got to get the bolts to line up. Probably works better having it live around 9 o'clock instead of 2 or 3 in the morning like I did the last one. I ain't been out here. Well, I ain't been out here since the last live, so I think that's been like 2-3 days. So I needed some shot time anyway. Got my plan on deer hunting this year, so I went out and sighted in one of my deer slayers. So I'm going to try a 400 legend this year and see how that works. Typically I use a 450. I've got a 350 legend too, but I haven't hunted with that yet either. I want to try that 400. I got a Howa 1500 mini action light that I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't get that stupid thing to sight in at all. It won't be worth a snot. It's chambered in 6mm ARC. Alright, now the carburetor's already been, I haven't thinned the shafts or nothing. This is a good strong work build, so, but I showed on the other live how to pop them out and nip them real easy. This piece right here, that goes nice enough to put blue stuff around in there so you get it all over yourself. Chemos or pliers. These aren't the ones I normally use, but they should work. Be real careful as not to rip your boot or poke a hole in it. This one oddball bolt goes right there. Start it right there so you don't stuff it somewhere else on accident. The washer's smaller on that than yeah, that bolt and that little front bolt takes smaller bolts. Goes in there. Let's see here. Try to put their goop right back in the same spot that they had it. This piece I cut the X out on. So I like doing that on any of my 4910 builds. Where's my crimp screws? Now, if you got the A2D filter set up, you put your top cover on and then put that in there. Otherwise, you can't squeak it in there. But the stock one will go. You want them firm but not over tight because it's just plastic. Right there. Should be 2 more of these. Choke rod too. Always put your choke rod in. Try not to get the blue snot on you. Before you put your cover on. Over that spark plug group. Now these take 3 bolts that got straight slots in them too. That's so if you have to pull your top cover off in the field that you can. I just used a little Allen. I was digging in some clay at work, got my little tractor stuck. That was awesome. Had to have the boss pull me out. Alright, now this would be the time to put your A2D on. If you don't, I know a lot of people will put grease or an O-ring in there and have good luck. I prefer the A2D setup, but this was a Home Depot. This is the second time I've seen this style. They must have upgraded it. I don't know if they did it to the 501 or what, but the 4310's got it too. There's a notch right there that clutch on. Washer, nut, this bearing. this is just super lube. I don't even remember where I got it from. Looks like something from the 80s. It works really, really good. It's not quite as crucial on these because they got a port you can push on there and grease them if you forget to do that. But sometimes this can be. There we go. Slide the pan around. Washer, and their special nut. This is not a normal nut. It's left-handed thread. And for that, grab one of these. And where is my socket? It's on the table. Pull up on the rewind just a little bit. That's all I do. I don't hit them hard or nothing. Does not take much for that. I prefer the 501 handlebar, but I don't have one. This is where that spike screw goes in. Got some fucking red armor right here. That'll work. That should be enough to bench start it. I like to put a little bit of bar oil in, so I'm not running that brand new pump dry. You know, it drips and makes a mess everywhere. Open my door just a little bit. Smoke. I wasn't going to run it too long because it is pretty big. I don't want to torque the neighbors off. It's pumping oil good. I don't want to run it too long, torque the neighbors off, but got here just in time. I just did the first fire of it. Tomorrow, if I get time, I'll see if I can test cut with it. Guess we can throw the bar and chain on it. That way I don't got to dink with it tomorrow. I'm not a fan of these chains, but what it come with is what I'm going to put on it. I really like the 23 RS on these guys, but these chains like the kink. So this should make a really good all-around functionable work saw. I like to lift up on my bars or tip the saw back. That being that it's brand new, it's probably going to loosen up a couple extra studs. Clean towel. Degrease the spot. It's probably worthy of one of my stickers, I think. Out of these things. I'm going to have to get more made. So, right there we go. One solid work saw. 102, 122, 77, 25 squish if I recall. Should still have the piece of solder from wherever I did the last live, whatever I did with it. It's on the table, so where's my calipers? I recall I cut 38 off the base on it, which should give me 25 squish on the tight spot. 24. So, yeah, I do have another new one that I bought at Home Depot as well, that bone stock that we can compare that one to. I'll probably for tomorrow. I think I'm going to try to make it to Sawfest. I have missed out on every single chainsaw event in the last 2.5 years, 3 years. So I don't think I'm going to go to the Friday one where it's the Clone Wars, but I'm going to try to make it to the Saturday one. I want to run 3, 4, 5, and 6 cube. Probably get my butt handed to me, but I don't care. Even if I don't get to race, just going there and seeing people and doing meet and greet stuff will just be absolutely awesome. I've been tied down to the house far too long, so I want to do tip up too, depending on how I'm feeling. Like I said, I see a specialist next month. Hopefully we can get the stone stuff sorted out, but I think the stuff that I've been doing, I've passed a whole gravel pit last week and a half or so. I mean, I'm talking gravel pit. I've got herbal tea it's called Stonebreaker. That's been helping. Um, I think some of the stretches and stuff help getting the stuff moving along down through the. So if they can get me sorted out, I want to go to Sawfest. I want to do tip up, and I want to do some deer hunting this year. But, venison steak sounds really, really good right now. But, that sounds really good. A venison steak with some asparagus and some mashed potatoes. That sounds real good. Making myself hungry. Yes, I'm hoping Sawfest will be awesome. Well, we got, what, 66 people in here. Wow, that blows my mind. So I guess while I'm standing behind the camera here and can see it, does anyone have any questions or? Says you missed the beginning. This will be getting. Hey, Kenzie. Hopefully you're being good. Looks like my kid popped in here to say hi. No, thank you guys for taking the time to watch my stuff. The big board 372 is under that bench over there. It's just sitting. I ain't figured out what I'm going to do with it yet. Check this free grinder I got. Couldn't believe somebody was going to throw it away. Ain't nothing special, but I couldn't pass that thing up for free. I think it's one of them Harbor Freight ones, but just getting that big fat wire wheel and stone there, even if this don't work, it'll fit my other 8-inch grinder. So I was pretty stoked. They gain, but they don't gain like other saws do. I got to throw quite a bit at it to get seven horse out of one. I'm not going to use a clone for the rest of my moto milk testing. I gotta figure out what to do about that. I want to find some cheap saw that I don't give two snots about, that's OEM, not some knockoff of an OEM, and put it through its paces. Yes, free is always good. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do a 2511 test saw. I was thinking something, putting it, where you can run big bar on it and if you do 102 on the exhaust on that 620 and raise the secondary up to the primary and a little bit of intake work and pitch the gasket and a muffler mod, they run pretty decent. They're easy to do. It's just I don't know. The worst is doing a proper muffler mod on a 590 or 620. They're an absolute pain in the butt to do a good muffler mod where they sound good instead of just drilling that hole in the top of it. They just slobber stuff out when you drill that hole in the top of it. Yep, the 590s I'll do a 105 roof on, and the 620s I do a 102 roof on. I've pushed them higher roofs than that and got them to ring up there, but I didn't. I'm a torque guy. I like keeping the torque, so especially in a 620. I've only got one 620 left, and it's the one that's got a homemade muffler on it. 4910, 501, 2511, 7310 all gain like crazy. Hey Tanton, I got your crank sitting over in the corner. That was a negative of me finding a box at work today. And then the box that I ordered a little tiny part off from eBay, and that's the condition my box showed up in from UPS today, and it was just a little tiny box. I was less than impressed. It came pre-opened and smashed in like that. I was super duper less than impressed with that. Good thing it was only a $20 part. I do not have a good OEM carb. I think I've got a Hylac carb out of a Farmer Tech kit. Heck, I had to get my last OEM carb from you. I'm feeling better today. I've had good days and bad days, and I'm going to call today a good day. Unless you want to talk about my shoulder. I don't feel very good, but that's what happens when you do a lot of plinking. Yeah, shoulder was my own doing. That's what I thought, because I was trying to find the that carb today. yeah, no, it's... What saw did I put that on? I don't even remember what saw I put that on now. Yeah, I do. I don't remember what... I know I got a carb from you, Tanton, and I put it on a saw. And now I don't remember. Was it that last clone I had? Well, I was trying to punch holes. My 6mm art, it's not cooperating. Sweet. Yeah, did you end up using them numbers that we were talking about earlier, Tanton? No, I don't hand load. I don't reload at all. My ADHD is probably not a good idea. Well, I'm going to say it's the gun, Tanton, because all the other ones I plinked with shot just fine other than that 6mm. Hey Tanton, I'll buy the bullets, and you can fuel up your truck and drive all the way over here and show me how to plink with that thing if you want. $6mm ARC. I don't dare show one of the cordless hole puncher Adirabus or Freedom Seed or whatever, because the last time I was showing stuff with firearms on a live, they shut it right down. No, I'll pay for the bullets. You got to pay for your own fuel. I don't dare dump anything else in my red truck because it don't want to stay running as it is. That thing's plagued with a gremlin too. Yeah, this Stonebreaker tea's not too bad tasting either. I don't put no sugar or nothing in it. Can't pronounce what it's called, but back when I drove a Rabbit, I poured all kinds of used motor oil and vegetable oil and all sorts of stuff when I had a little diesel Rabbit. No, I did not wait. I'd shoot a clip through it and then frickin' wait. Yeah, back in the day, you could get a Volkswagen Rabbit diesel for like $500 and drive the piss out of it. And I had one. I would love one of them little mini diesel pickup trucks again, just for bebopping around and like going to Softfest and stuff. But man, they're wanting crazy amounts of money for them now. I port very few saws for the public. I'm not a production porter. If I get bored or tinkering or flat broke or something, I'll take something on here and there. But for the most part, it's just here and there. Yep, I had the diesel pickup truck. Had a couple of them actually. Well, I wasn't yanking the trigger, but if you say so. I've never had a Nissan diesel. The numbers in your 365 that I didn't want to give out on here in case you were keeping them a secret. Well, some race stuff we got to keep to ourselves, especially if we're racing it. I give out a lot of information. There's lots of people out there that port. There's Dino Joe. There's Gary Buxton. There's Egan. There's a lot of people. There's a what is that? Chainsaw Repair. There's a list of trusted porters on there. I could have been on the list, but I asked not to be on it because I don't port much for the public, and I figured it would confuse people if I was on there. So I personally asked to stay off that list. Well, I port lots of saws without a wheel. I've done two of them John cutters now with no wheel. I don't know how to flip this thing around so I can sit down and look at the screen either. Same people for a 500i, or do it yourself. They're pretty easy to do. There's a there's too many to name, but if you get on like chainsaw repair, there's a list of trusted porters. Some of them might be backed up 6 months though. But you don't have to know how an engine works. You just have to know how a grinder works if you're porting. Knowing how things work help, but I'd say it's more about understanding flow than anything. Numbers is just an easy way to repeat your results. Flow is 100% more important than any set of numbers. If I'm not racing a 500i, there's two sets of numbers that I go with on them. I'll cut 40 flat out of the band, set the squish, and then I'll do either a 105 exhaust roof or a 100 exhaust roof, and then I'll do the transfers around 120. Intake where it lands, and then give it a little bit of a long muffler mod it, and they run really good at either 105 or if like the loggers like my 105 builds, if they're dual purpose, and the other ones like my 100 roof build. I was talking about a 500i, Canton. I'll give my work build numbers out on them. I don't care. I don't have to impress anybody. I just putter around on saws here and there. Not currently at this time. It would probably be a month before I would even feel up to taking on a 500i. Hey, it worked for me to grind till I seen daylight on that 2511 clone. Then I just welded the cylinder back up. Yep, Aaron builds a good 500. I'm down to 27 people now. I've only built a couple 5 Series Huskies. Built a couple, well, what, 3 550s, one 562, and one 572. Yep, Tanton. All of a sudden, a whole. I believe YouTube took his channel down. Yes, Tanton does build a scary FCO. We've had a few battles on the dyno. In fact, Tanton's got the 2 FCOs that I built. Hey, I followed by your rules on that last one. That totally got me off sidetrack there when I wasn't allowed to tune my carburetor when I got over there. I still managed to edge you out with your so-called air filter. I really think those FCOs are underrated. They feel like crap. They got some questionable plastics, but they can be made to run really good. I am thinking about racing the green Sawfest. No, I just barely edged you out. If I'd have gave her 10 more pounds of compression, I would have walloped you a little bit bigger. But I didn't listen to my gut instinct. I've never ran a 595. Now, you don't see them pop up on Marketplace very often. If you do, Tanton ends up buying them up if they'll ship them. I love my ported 661. You own them all. Yeah, Tanton's hoarding them, all right. I've never ran a 309 saw. I've heard about them. I think 309 is the one that does machine porting. I think it's done with a machine, like a CNC machine, if I recall. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. Yeah, my green saw's sitting back there behind the stove. I got to pick up. I think they said they're running poplar this year, and I'm gonna have to go out in the woods and find a chunk of poplar so I can do some testing. I could never run a CNC. I'm too computer stupid. Well, sounds like me. I wished I could run my 400 in certain classes, but I'm not allowed to. They're Tanton. Worked on them. No idea. Yeah, I barely machine now with my old generic stuff that I got here. That's okay. I've been told I do all my work with a hoof rasp, so that 400 of mine is something else. Every time I play with it, it surprises me. It surprises me it ain't blew up yet either. Pulls a long bar good too. I still can't believe that one short. I had like a 15-second clip of me with I think with a 16-inch bar flying through a piece of white pine, fresh white pine, with that got like 4.4 million views, and I had so much hatred on that video. It was crazy. It all sorts of stuff. Computer sped up, you know, rotten wood, all kinds of stuff. Kind of hard to sell it. It's like one of my own personal toys. That, and if I did sell it and then it finally popped on somebody, I would feel horrible. Did you see the video where I was playing with it on the Moto Milk? I think it picked up some more even with the Moto Milk. Yeah, a lot of people don't believe that thing. I had a single 1 inch pipe on it, and it dynoed at 8.8 horse. It's got a extra dyno Joe deflector on it now to help get some because I noticed how much heat I was getting in the muffler. Just a regular RS3 steel chain. Yeah, that's why I don't like dealers. My stint when I worked at a steel dealer, they're quick to blame customers, that's for sure. It would probably most definitely scoot with a 325 square ground. I don't have a square grinder anymore. I ended up getting rid of it. Smitty seems to be really loving it though. Yeah, it sucks. I missed his event this year too. Really wanted to get out that way. Well, this thing's been going for an hour, and all I'm doing is standing behind here jibber jabbering. I appreciate every one of you that stopped in here and said hi. I'm gonna cut this thing off here. Tomorrow I will try to get some test cuts with that work saw build, and then compare it to one of these stockers I got sitting here. I bought 5 of them, 4910s, so I got 4 brand new ones left. So Yep, you guys have a good one too, and I just got to figure out how to exit this thing.